centre's had a huge impact on the school. It's given families opportunities to have a real holistic care for their children. They can come into school early in the morning, there's people to greet them, they can bring any difficulties or problems that they might have. We work together really well in terms of all of the staff understand each other's roles and responsibilities. We've made sure that we've had joint staff meetings, joint training days where we've actually shared our roles with each other. These have often been social occasions as well as more formal meetings. So I think that people have developed an understanding of how important each other's roles are. In school, our primary role is to make sure the children receive a really rounded education and that they have the opportunities to reach their full potential in terms of the education they receive. In the Children's Centre, they look at the whole family and look at reasons often why children don't achieve. We track children in school and we can see that they're moving through sub-levels much more quickly as a direct result of the impact that the Children's Centre has had on those families. Wraparound care works really well. Children come into school first thing in the morning and then they're taken to school by Children's Centre staff, and then at night they come back into wraparound care. There are several specific examples in school where parents have been able to apply and been successful in applying for positions purely because they've been able to put their child into wraparound care. Over and over in my experience, I can see that this provision has made a real difference to the lives of our families. I've had many comments from parents about the different feel that there is both in the school and in the centre. It feels much more like a community and a family rather than an educational establishment. I can't really put into words how good it is to have the Children's Centre on site. It's been marvellous for everybody.
With the staff at Greenacres, we do have very positive, strong working relationships, and it's the joined up thinking that we found as a real valuable asset. One in particular that's been very beneficial for some families has been the practical positive parenting, otherwise known as Triple P. So parents have come along with concerns about their child's behaviour, and we've then been able to signpost them to Greenacres, where they've then accessed the programme. And one parent started the programme and found it really beneficial, and then on the strength of their recommendation, another parent then came along on the second programme. The feedback from the parents has been really positive, and we have another 2 families ready to join the same programme. We have a very close working relationship as well with the family outreach worker, one in particular who supports our school, and she's working with us with one of our vulnerable families. Attendance is a real concern, so we have meetings with the parent and the support worker from here so that we can again signpost that parent and offer support where it's needed, and that's having an impact on her attendance as well. Another really fantastic way that the Greenacres Children's Centre have helped us at Perryfields is in setting up a stay and play for parents. They helped us set up the stay and play sessions that now operates every Tuesday afternoon, and it's led and managed by staff from here. And again, that's accessed by a good number, at least 10 parents attend on a regular basis the stay and play sessions, and that's also impacting upon our preschool that's on site. So the children who come to stay and play often then access, we don't have a nursery, it's a separate private facility, but children who go to stay and play then tend to go on to the preschool. So again, the links are forged much earlier because of the support that the Children's Centre have offered us.
We do an assessment in our school called the Welcome Screening Tool, which assesses how children use language and how children understand language. And from that tool we can identify children with moderate learning needs. Some staff from Greenacres come over and they deliver workshops jointly with us, so it's like a multi-agency working to help improve those children's speech and language needs, and they deliver it through really fun workshops like puppets and making crafts and things like that. Those children who've been involved with it have improved their confidence. With things like circle times, they will now speak out, and also in the free choice time they will go and initiate conversations with other children. The impact Greenacres have had on my classroom in particular has been very, very positive, especially just with the children's confidence and relationships within the classroom.
Over the last 12 months, we probably have worked with 30 families who have been subject to child protection or a child in need plan. The impact of that has been very positive for those parents. We've had a low number of families in the looked after system. The additional support that we've given to families who have been on the child protection plan is Positive Parenting Programme. This is a programme to help families who are having difficulties with their child behaviour or also having difficulty being a parent.
As part of my role as maternity support worker, I support mums antenatally and postnatally up until baby's 6 months old. We can give breastfeeding support in the home, we can give practical support, so we can give demonstrations on bathing baby, on making up feeds, on sterilising. We also give emotional support, so if mum's had a bad night, we can go in and she can just talk to us and it's non-judgmental. When we go in and meet new mums, we tell them the services that are available at the centre and also services that are available locally. So we'll tell them about the groups that are specifically for mums with babies under one. We'll tell them about baby clinic and baby massage and baby sign language, and then we'll refer mums onto them services. So they'll come here and they'll do their baby sign and they'll access other sessions then, and that's generally if mum wants, if she's a bit uncomfortable about coming here for the first time, we can even go meet mum at home and walk with mum to the centre. The vast majority of the mums that I will go and see at home after baby is born will come and access services in the centre.
I'm a family support worker. I go out into the community and speak to the parents and build up relationships with them. The majority of the parents that we go out and visit will visit the centre and use all the facilities. I would work with the family as long as they need my support.
Sandwell Women's Aid is an organisation working in the borough of Sandwell supporting victims, predominantly women who are victims of domestic abuse, rape and sexual violence. The Children's Centre and Women's Aid were quite progressive and identified that a partnership approach was probably the best way forward. We were able to support women on an individual basis, providing one-to-one support when they feel comfortable with our service. What's been vital is that the service offers independent advice and support. That said, that we've been able to run counselling programmes, we've been able to do one-to-one support. We run a support programme called Safe People so that people explore the people in somebody's life who may cause harm or danger to them. Over 50 families have benefited from the support that we've been able to provide, and links with the school, who've also expressed concern over individual children's behaviours, has enabled that referral pathway to come into our service. This is a true partnership of the Children's Centre, the local community, the school and everyone else who works within this area to protect women and children.
Because we are providing them not only information, we are also giving them emotional support to get to that level where they can be able to make good decisions on what has happened on their lives and able to take the right steps towards living a normal life and living independently. I think our role in this centre is really important.
After Brandhall Foundation Stage got outstanding for their Ofsted, myself and the foundation stage leader got together and thought we could give some training to Little Acres nursery. The training we developed was based around planning, but it also shared the same observation sheets that the school do at the moment, so they've all gone down to the nursery. So we do the same observation sheets and we now do the same phonics literacy session called Sally.
As a result of the training that was delivered, it's made the staff team at Little Acres more confident with their planning. We've also developed shadowing, so our staff will come up to the nursery and nursery staff will come down to Little Acres. Child-initiated learning has increased within the nursery. Children will decide what they want to do. They'll come in with an idea of what they want and staff will develop this in a way that encourages the children to learn. Now the children are more likely to choose an activity that they want to get engaged in rather than a member of staff having to lay the activity out for them.
As a result of these observations that are more focused and the use of the Progress Matters assessment tool, we're able to track children's progress more rigorously.
Working with Little Acres and mentoring the other staff helps me develop professionally, as I can reflect on my own practice and ensure that I'm teaching to the best of my ability. Another aspect of how we work together is the staff from Little Acres come up with a small group of children and they join in our PE sessions. This is particularly useful for aiding the transition of the children. A lot of the children come from Little Acres to our nursery once they reach the age of 3. I talk about sort of Little Acres and things that they've done, so when they're doing PE as well they might talk about how they've done things at Little Acres, the PE sessions that they've done, so it's shown to have an impact on the children and their learning.
I work in the nursery at the school. We've gone on home visits to see the parents and the children that are due to start in nursery at school before they arrive. This helps with their transition. We also go out with a member of the children's centre staff, and they also speak to the parents, telling them what services they offer at that time as well. While we're on the visits, many of the parents actually were unaware of the services that Children's Service Centre offered, but now we see that there are quite a few parents that come and actually use those services.
I think working in partnership with the Children's Centre has helped us narrow the gap in the children's attainment. Firstly, with the physical development, the tri-golf lessons were introduced to help us with a group of children who didn't engage with their PE lessons and didn't enjoy PE lessons, and certainly some of their families were obese, and it wouldn't have been something that would have been encouraged in the home.
The children who attended the tri-golf sessions within the Children's Centre, returning to the classroom, there's a noticeable improvement in their balance, coordination and their keenness to become involved in physical activities both indoors and outside.
We tracked their progress before and after, and we found that they'd made at least double the expected progress. With literacy, the Little Acres are now doing Sally Squirrel sessions, which will increase our reception baseline. Due to the Sally Squirrel phonics sessions, the baseline in 2010 was significantly higher than the baseline in 2009. The children that had attended playgroup and also run around and other children's centre activities prior to coming to reception had the highest scores in the personal, social, emotional development baseline.
The children who attended welcome sessions, there was an improvement in their speech and language, their ability to communicate, particularly the English as a second language learners who were able to then access the rest of the curriculum. Children who attended stay and play sessions and other sessions held by the Children's Centre before entering reception were found to be much more independent and had higher levels of confidence and self-esteem when reaching reception.
The families that I see are usually local families who live in the streets around the Children's Centre, so the nearest health centres that these families could come to for a speech and language service would be several miles away. At the end of the session I always say to the family, are they happy to come back and have their next appointment here? And you know, they usually say to me, yeah, it's really convenient because it's just around the corner. So since I've been working at the centre, it's been a lot easier for me to have discussions with the staff here, for example the early years workers, about the sorts of specific targets and work that they can be doing with children who come to see me in the clinic here, but who also attend playgroups and stay in plays. So that's quite advantageous for the children.
I believe it's important that every family feels welcomed in the centre, whether that's a young dad coming for the first time or a grandma bringing their grandchildren to the centre.